You are now tuning in to Stay to the Point Radio.
Hey, thank you for tuning in to State to the Point Radio. This is your host, Sherry.
Beautiful.
Yo, that was perfect.
That was beautiful.
Ain't no editing involved.
They're so
Nothing.
extra.
I'm telling you, that was
that was dope. And it was so calm and peaceful. I was about to light up some incense in a second.
Oh wow.
He's so
Just saying.
extra. Oh God.
And I'm your host, Shirewave.
I'm just here.
And Fuego's always just here.
I'm just here.
So we are here, man. We are back for another week. We got some things to talk about. First and foremost, how's everybody doing? How's y'all week? How y'all enjoying the sunshine right now? Hopefully y'all sunshining over there.
It's
Finally.
sun shining. Yeah. It was raining a couple days, but it's cool.
Mine has been not a couple days, but maybe
really?
an entire week down here in South Carolina with, I guess, the tropical storms and all that.
Yeah.
But today the sun is shining, and I do plan on going outside in a little bit.
I ran home. I'm gonna go back out because I forgot some things at the store. But I was out early with doing a little workout, and I'm actually running through the drills now. Y'all be proud of me. I didn't break any ankles. I didn't hurt my knee.
That's what I need to get out there and do.
Yeah, it was. This weekend is nice. I don't want to jinx it though, because we don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring for me.
Right.
But
Okay, that's what's up, man. My week was pretty good. It was pretty. I guess it was really, really just positive. It was really bad for the past 2 weeks at work-wise, but it got real positive this week. So I'm very excited about that. It's a good turnaround.
My experience was the opposite. Like, I'm in South Carolina. I know you're in Texas, so I don't know what your work experience is like. But every single last person I work with is a Trump supporter. So a lot of the stuff, like every single last person, I'm not lying. And everything that has been going on, it's been really uncomfortable. It's been very quiet because there's a lot of people probably in their mind are just thinking a whole bunch of stuff and nobody knows what to say because they're thinking that they're going to offend. And I'm going to say, offend me. Because that's just what it is. They know I'm not a Trump supporter. I don't hold my tongue for people. But at work, you have to be really careful about what you say. Otherwise, you might be in a position where you don't have a job and you're no longer employed just for having an opinion. And, you want to stay respectful because everybody's allowed to have their opinions. I think anybody that knows me knows I'm a very opinionated person. I don't apologize for being opinionated because I feel like my voice does matter and my opinion matters, and, my life and the viewpoints of what affects me as a Black American is important to me. And, I'm not a Trump supporter. I don't, we've talked about this. We talked about it last week. He's not good for this country. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care all the excuses that you make. It doesn't matter what he says. People that are on that Trump bandwagon will make an excuse for everything he says and does. And his tweets this week have just been disturbing, to say the least. I guess would be my word, that somebody in his position could bring themselves to say the things that he has said this week. He's just saying all the wrong things and he's proud of it. So that's what
I'm saying. And they are too. Like they're proud and happy. I'm seeing people that I care if you are a supporter of whatever you believe, what you believe. But I'm seeing people that are like right after, say we talking about something, one of these police brutality or some bad event like what happened in Georgia and what just happened in was it Minnesota? We after they say that's a topic, then right after that's people that I know are saying things like "Make America Great" or "Keep America" and all this stuff. So it's like you're antagonizing, so you're okay with what's happening. So I'm about to go through, and I'd rather say it to you face to face. I'd rather not just delete you on Facebook. I want to tell you straight up that you're excuse my language, but you're a bitch. I don't care if I've known you for 25 years, and there's some people that I have known for that long that you're staying quiet. You're not for me or mine if you're staying quiet. Because I know I'll ride for you. And this goes for everybody. Like, I really like the demonstrations and the peaceful ones I'm seeing. I don't agree with the looting. But yeah, I mean, there's so this week was good in a sense, but it was kind of like it was I can understand what both of y'all are saying. Like, negative side, definitely, but positive as well. Positive because I'm seeing more people come together. Right? And I'm seeing yesterday's protest here, the majority were white and others. There's only a few black people there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing, and that's the positive side.
And I'm also seeing the same thing. Even on my timeline, it's not race specific, the ignorance. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not like, it's not a black and white thing for me when in regards to my friends. To me, it's just an ignorance. Like, I don't like indifference, because to me, indifference is just, it's ignorance. And you think that you can get through life. And I was best friends, and, not to speak poorly of her, because I think she's a good person and she does great things for people and stuff like that. But I was, we're no longer friends, but I was best friends for almost 20 years with somebody who was indifferent. And she gets through life being that way, and she thinks it's okay. And I guess, like, I just don't relate because I'm not like that. Some people would say, oh yeah, that's the right way to be, corporate America and all this other stuff. And you want to go along to get along. I'm not a go along to get along person. And if that makes me bad in your eyes or extra or whatever you want to say about me, then so be it. But what you know about me is that I'm 100% authentic all the time. And I don't apologize for that. I've seen a lot of like, what is it, Candace Owens about out there, and a lot of,
I actually want to fight her.
I do too.
Female,
like, physically want to harm her.
I would.
Like,
and it's sad, but that's the worst kind.
It's the truth. And I told Hiawatha the other day, I said, I want somebody to put me in a boxing ring with her so bad. Like, I really do. Because she, like you said, she's the worst kind. Like, and she was talking about Sean King. Oh, he's white, trying to be black, this, that. And I said, I would take 100 Sean Kings over one of you. Like,
I wish I could really, honestly, I agree with Sherry too. I would never do harm to her, but I would definitely pour some bleach on her ass. I mean,
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it is.
You won't punch her
but
in the face.
I won't physically punch her or do anything.
I'm a man, so I won't.
I mean, you might as well. Like, you want to be such a racist white woman so bad. So let's go ahead and throw bleach on you, get you white, and there you go.
Because to me, she's not bringing awareness to the black community, and how she will like swing her narrative is that's what she's doing. No, you're not. You're supporting the narrative of the racist white person, not of white people towards black people, of the racist white person towards a black person.
And I'm just saying racist. And that's what I was telling people, that it's not a race thing. This is not saying all white people.
No, I know racist Spanish people. I know racist everybody.
Everybody.
I know racist Jamaican people.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Africans.
All of that.
Racist.
I told, and that's what I was saying, that like that's the point that I try to make. Egypt said something yesterday, and he was saying, we all know everybody in this country been through everything, but let's be real, black people have had it the hardest, regardless of what nation you came from. You've had it the hardest. Black people have had it the hardest.
I mean,
period.
I would have to disagree, not in the sense that black people had the hardest. We can't really say who really had it the hardest, because of the fact that it's been different levels to different, because maybe my level is shorter than yours.
Let me tell you this.
Oh, not in this country. No.
I'm talking worldwide.
Worldwide, yes.
Worldwide, we can't go anywhere without a nation hating us, even our own people.
Right.
So blacks in Ghana don't like black Americans.
Right.
You go to the Caribbean, you go to Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, all over the place. It's not about the black being like the race black. It's about your color of your skin.
And
so
on
the
top
darker
of it,
you
white
are,
people can go everywhere in the world.
Yes.
White people can go everywhere in the world. And this is just something that I've experienced myself. Go everywhere in the world and be accepted. Even in Africa, we go to Africa, even Africans call us niggers.
Oh yeah,
It's a real thing.
I heard that.
You know, so we think it's just white people. It's not just white people. White people are socially accepted everywhere. Even if they're not liked, they're accepted and respected. You understand what I'm saying?
And that's the thing. And the thing that I was gonna ask, do y'all remember Sugar Hill, the movie?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that scene in the restaurant that the dude said something African and Wesley Snipes and I'm sorry, I'm saying African, whatever language he spoke, but he was from Africa, and he basically said, we don't do business with niggers. That's another black man said that, and Wesley bust him in his head. they was fighting because he just said that, you know. And I know we don't use that word. We're not using it loosely for everybody that's listening. We don't. I cringe when I'm hearing the word, and I know everybody that's listening does too. But it's just to make a point. That's why.
And then you know, whites can go anywhere in the world and do what's the word I'm looking for?
Anything.
Yeah, just do anything, like dig up ruins from that country, do any type of anything that they want to do in that country, take it, go put it in a museum somewhere, take credit for discovering it, even though people have been walking by it every day for years and just left it there. But and they just let them. Now let one of us go over there and do it, and we'll probably get arrested or worse, and it's the truth. Like, I hate to say it, but it's the truth. But to get back to what's going on right here in this country, it's just absurd to me. And like you said, positive and negative has come out of it. Yes, I've seen a lot of people, but a lot of people that I have seen come forward are people that I already knew, or that was down for Black people or whatever. But a lot of people, I've also been kind of surprised by some of the people who I've seen that didn't, like I had posted, this is my issue. If you're not going to speak on it, don't speak on it. Cool. You're just indifferent, sitting over there minding your business. It's not cool, but to me, it's better than not speaking about George Floyd, that whole situation, and then the riots break out, and now you're so vocal about the riots. Now we have a problem, because you weren't angry enough about the cause, but now you want to talk about the effect. I have a problem with that. So if you want to stay over there and shut up, then shut up all the way. I don't need half of your opinion. I don't need you to understand half of the situation. And I had this girl, she's actually cousins with the girl I used to be best friends with. And she, she was, I guess, trying to explain to me, and she had used the word that the protesting and stuff resonates with her. And I said, to my point, exactly. So you posted about what resonates with you and not about what the whole situation at first. So the death of Floyd did not resonate with you. That didn't bother you. That didn't ruffle your feathers enough for you to even post anything about it or pray for his family or nothing. You did it in silence. So do everything in silence and be okay with that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have, like, and like people not understanding my point. Just because I'm not posting pictures of burned down cities and all of this, does that mean that I am encouraging the riots? No, I'm not. Like, but I don't think that that's everybody. I don't think that that's even the majority of the people that are out there. I think that I honestly think there are ops, from what I've seen, being put there to make a larger distraction than what is, and to incite anger. I really think that there were people put there to do that. There are videos of people that just come out of nowhere and just bust windows and walk away. Like, who does that? There are, even in Atlanta, like some people have, because, Atlanta's good for that undercover cop crap, and got people in the crowds in regular clothes, come to find out they cops. Yep. So it's like, be careful what narrative you're out here spitting, because I'm not going to support that narrative without fact. I'm not going to support that narrative without being there myself and seeing what's really going on, because I'm also seeing some very positive things that are going on. So you're choosing to post the negative. And, in regards to all of those buildings, I still stand by, you know what, with time and insurance, that city will be just fine. And stop posting that people are burning down houses, because ain't nobody's house getting burnt down. There is no evidence or nothing of that. And I guess there was a under construction apartment building, like some new construction that they burnt down, but it was going to be some overpriced apartments in Midtown. But yet the narrative is that they're burning down their own neighborhoods. That's not what's going on. That's not what's going on.
And see, but this is my thing, and also like what Sherry was saying, that these guys are cops. Like the guys in all black, they were cops that started breaking into AutoZone's glass and everything. Like there was supposedly, there's rumored, I'm not gonna say that they are, but there's rumors that they were cops, that they were, and then they were white on top of that. Like they tried to hype up the situation. And even people were like, hey, where you going? Where you going? There was one particular guy, one particular gentleman that wanted to fight the dude. Like, yo, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to my neighborhood? Why are you doing this to this? So.
And did you see, like, but just on to that, because I seen that, actually posted that video. And with that, did you see, like, the cop, like his presence was very cop-like.
Yes.
Even when the guy jumped up to him, like, if I come at you, it was very cop-like. Like, don't go there with me. Like,
right.
Like I'm superior of you. And it wasn't white-like, it was cop-like. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And
to the people, like there is a cop-like. So
there is a cop-like, and like you said, a demeanor, the way he comes off. I can't get my words, but yeah, like he came off as a cop. And then a lot of them, they're just so stupid. Like if you look at their boots, they're like cop boots.
Yeah, military.
So like military type boots. So it's like, you think people are stupid. You have people going in there doing some quick shit and then bouncing. And to me, it's not okay to post about it when you're not there to actually witness it yourself. It's fake news to post that cops are getting killed. No cops got killed. I guess in wherever it was in Oakland or something, there were 2 security guards that got shot. The details behind that are vague at best. And they weren't cops, yet the media, or so way people took it as they were cops. No, they were federal security guards. They were not cops. So nobody's going out here just killing cops in the street. The security guards were probably trying to stop somebody from looting or stealing or something that was taking effect in the moment. And unfortunately and sadly, one of them got shot and died. The other one is not dead because somebody tried to post 2 cops. It wasn't 2 cops. 2 cops got shot. 1 died. The other one is alive. And it's not me making excuses. It's just me saying, don't post shit that you don't have the whole story on. Because you're literally intentionally posting negative content.
No, that's what they do.
Yeah.
So I'm going to spin it differently. And I'm going to tell you, just like the negative, positive. And the reason I'm telling you is because at previous protests and things that I've been a part of, they will say, hey, come over here, let's take a picture. And then everybody's standing firm. Then they'd be like, oh, look at all these people blocking the black people. That was for photo op. That's not how it really was. It was spread out more. It wasn't like that. So just like they post in the negative, that's why you can't, like Sherry's point, you got to be there. You got to really get your information, because you could say, oh, this is all the positive, and it didn't go down like that. Or this is all negative, and it didn't go down like that. There's somewhere in the middle that's happening. And it is, like I said, negative and positive, I do believe. But that's the part of why I tell people this media stuff, you can't just run off that. I told y'all before, like you got people, even when we were talking about the virus, you got people who work directly with this stuff, like including myself. And there's people that will say, well, the Washington Post said. I'm like, I just got off the phone with the governor. Me. And you would rather listen to the Washington Post, who gets it after we get our call done, or after I get off with some city officials. You get it after that, because we don't let media in there. I'm just being real. So therefore, you get it like second, third hand, but you won't listen to the person that's at the table with these people. But you got to be at the table. That's just what I'm saying. So if I'm not saying go and burn. If it starts becoming crazy, yeah, get away from that. You know what I mean?
It's like, unless you hear it from, that's why I typically will only post stuff about Trump because he actually said it, and I can go to his Twitter and pull it from his Twitter. I don't.
That's it.
And because I know that I can confirm that information, and even when I see somebody else had already posted it, I still check. And that's why I tried to tell this girl on my page. I said I haven't posted about anything I haven't fact checked already. I won't. So because to me it's ignorant. And but when I can go back on your post, however, and you're reneging on a lot that you're saying because you don't fact check, you just scroll through Facebook and look for shit to post. No. How about you get a brain of your own? And the other thing is it's educated people. Educated people. They're not stupid. Educated, and they're just ignorant. And just because you're not white does not mean you're not racist. If one more person says that to me, I'm not even white. I don't give a shit.
It's not.
I know racist black people. You do not glow to me because you're not white.
Exactly.
I can't deal with the ignorance. That's the one thing about this whole situation that's bothering me the most is the ignorance, the indifference, just the lack of knowledge. This other girl was posting about I had to cut her off, but she was posting about the one thing she had said, she called I had to cut her off when she called the protesters trash. Because now you're doing the most. You don't know these people and you're not black, so you don't understand the rage that goes along with it. Are you even American? Because how could you even live here and be okay with the fact that a cop just blatantly killed a black man, and now they're trying to cover it up with these bogus ass, botched ass autopsy reports and all this shit, and that's okay with you? Then she says, I posted about both. I said, no, boo, I checked your page. You did not post about both. And then you had to go back and be like, oh, my bad. You're right. I didn't. Yeah, I know I'm right. You didn't. I wouldn't tell you that you did if you didn't.
Yeah. And the one thing that I say, and I'll say this, it's not about white, and we're not saying all white people, all black. We're not doing that. What I'm going to explain to y'all now, I'm going to say this.
Keyword racist.
Oh yeah, the keyword is racist. It doesn't matter what color. We just said that. It doesn't matter what nation. But I'm gonna tell you like this: be careful, because people are out here looking at just white people. So the point I'm trying to make is that when white people are coming out or black people are coming out, so this is what I always say: we gotta police our own people. It has to happen. When I say that, I say if I see somebody coming out the mouth, they'll ask me, why do you care if that Latina or that black girl is being ghetto? I said, because that affects me and my daughters. Because then my daughter looks like that. I said, then they look at my daughter like that. So I'm going to snatch both, be like, yo, y'all gotta chill. When I can handle it. I'm not saying that. So the same way when you see racist white people, I think y'all white people should step up and say, yo, shut up. Because you're going to make it bad for me and my kids or my mother or my granddaughter or whatever. Because when I step out the house, I might be smacked in my face with something for no reason.
And then a lot of
I'm gonna put it, and I was just talking to Tammy about this. And partly after all this and all, like what's going on with George Floyd, I feel bad for the cool white people.
That's what I'm saying.
I truly do.
Yeah.
I truly feel bad for them because they gotta kind of be like, damn, like we gotta speak out on this. We gotta speak out on this, but. Remember, it's not me. I'm not the one. Exactly. Like, I gotta kind of like.
But for me, when I've noticed the ones that are rocking hard for this and advocating for us, I've said something to them too on a positive note. So just like, I'm calling out some of the ones that ain't so cool, I am like privately talking and encouraging the ones that are so cool to keep it up, because that's how we change. If we want to be united, that is the only way.
I'm upset. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Sherry.
Well, I don't know what I was gonna say now. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I do it to y'all all the time. You're good.
No, I'm surprised at some of the teachers that we actually had at school that I thought was in a certain way, and they can only talk about. And one in particular, I'm very surprised that all you can talk about is the fact that they're looting and burning. Before that happened, you ain't saying nothing about it being a tragedy that this happened. Nothing. Only when it comes to that fact that they're burning cities down or burning establishments down, that's when you get upset. Like that made you upset.
And that was the point. And that, I mean, guess that, like
Crazy.
what you just said, that was my face. That was it. You were only upset at the point of the rioting. How were you not upset at the cause? Because to me, the cause was even more egregious than the rioting. The rioting, that'll be cleaned up. That's going to be insurance is going to take. Some of those people going to come out better with the insurance than they did, and I'm not making excuses again. I'm just saying that buildings can be rebuilt. But when people are being killed in the streets, their families are being broken, children are grown without their fathers. These people cannot be brought back. You cannot fix this. That rioting and all that, we can fix that.
And what
hate,
sorry, I did it.
No, go ahead.
No.
No, I'm done. Really.
We passion now. We've been.
No, because I'm this last my point. I'm just saying I love what I tell people is that what I see it a lot. They be like, well, black people aren't the only ones. I've had some Mexican people that I know down in Texas say, well, black people, Mexicans get it too. So then step the fuck out and you come out there too.
But to be fair,
come out.
And this is my issue with a lot of Spanish people, and I know that both of you guys have, don't that's Spanish cool, backgrounds, but I'm talking about the ones that are ignorant to the fact. You guys are not ignorant, so I'm not talking about you, but a lot of Spanish people that are ignorant to the fact that their placement in this country and their ability to even be here is because of the struggle and the fight and the back of Black 100%. People. 100%. And the fact that a lot of them cannot stand up and support us in this fight is mind-boggling to me, and almost like you don't have a place here without Black people. And then you're only not Black when it's not on paper, especially the high yellow Latinos, because when you have to hit...
Let me stop.
Well, yes and no. I don't know what he puts on paper, but on paper, you can put Caucasian and then check Hispanic. And pass as Caucasian. Simple facts. So don't give me your crybaby ass story, because half of y'all look white and could pass for white, especially when you don't speak Spanish.
And that's a whole nother topic that I think another show, I want to get into that a little bit another time.
I want to also shout out to this young lady that's in the corner of Tremere and on Colleen. She had a sign saying, "Dear Black men, you are important."
Oh, okay, nice.
And I had to go ahead and go to her, and I didn't think of taking a picture of her because I'm not like these.
Yeah, just taking pictures.
I'm not like these people that just stay with their phones and have their phones to their face all fucking day. Like so I'm not always like, ooh, let me take a picture of you. That's not my first thought process. My first thought process was like, yo, that's awesome that you are outside in this heat with a sign. And I went to check to see she had a water bottle. She only had one, so I went and I pulled over and I gave her 2 waters. Yeah. And I told her, I was like, thank you. Like, and then she was like, and then she responded back. She was like, thank you, my brother. And then she said, please stay safe. And I was like, absolutely. And I went back to my car and drove off. But it was like, it was a great feeling. It was a great moment. But it just shows that, we are all human beings. We all our lives do matter. And I think people need to speak up, not for the color, not for what your preferences on politics, not what your culture, it's none of that. It's just humans. Humans. Like, it's crazy how motherfuckers are quick to say something if a dog is getting fucked up or getting choked up and shit like that. But as soon as a human being
still till this day
shot, getting killed, got their knee to the neck, and they don't say shit. But then, if a dog, oh my God, cruelty to animals. PETA. Damn near about to join PETA the next day, bro. Like, but what about humans? What about humans? And I love dogs. Don't get me wrong. I got a dog. I love her to death. She's bougie as hell. She get on my goddamn nerves. Always following me
I
underneath
love
me.
my dog too.
But it's not for anything. That's second. That's third. That's last. Animals.
I'm not gonna save my dog over my children.
Exactly. I'm not either. And they only stay alive for 14 to
15 years if you're lucky.
Yeah. So what the fuck? Bruh, at the end of the day, everybody went through what they went through. How y'all were lives, if it was hard, if it wasn't, whatever the case is, at the end of the day, y'all are all human beings. We are all human beings. And I think if something is wrong, you speak up.
But I think that before we move on, the reference to dogs, I think that to me, and I've talked about this, I talked about it earlier this week, to me, that the fact that we have to compare ourselves with white people to dogs and how much they love their dogs but hate us is a big problem. Like it's a huge problem. And even though it's like a black person, dogs have more grace than we do in regards to when they mess up. And how a dog can be loyal for 13 years and then it's getting old and it snaps and it bites you and they have to be put down. That's what they do to us. We don't have that grace. White people, they get chance after chance after chance after chance to mess up. They get chance after chance to get rolled up at work. I've seen it myself. I've seen it in the military where a white person, I've seen it a lot in the military, but when a white person gets rolled up, they get slapped on the hand. A black person, oh, Article 15, oh, we're kicking you out. The girl I was talking about earlier, she's one of them. And I guess you don't resonate with black people. However, I know for a fact that throughout the years, the group of people that accepted you the most were black people.
Well, that's
because she's brown. Like you're brown. If you when people see you coming, just like me, when people see you coming, they see you as a brown person. They might not know your background, where you come from. They don't know that you're in law school. They don't know that you're educated with multiple master's degrees. They don't know that you're a veteran. They don't need to know that because they've already know that you're brown. So now you have to break down a wall. And if you're trying to tell me that that's not your struggle, you're a liar. You are a liar because I know that's your struggle. And the only reason that you don't identify with that struggle is because in your life, you keep it neutral and you stay around Spanish people that already know about you. So you already feel socially accepted because you haven't tried to go outside your box. So you stay in a box because you're scared of what's going to happen when you go outside your box. Because the truth is the truth. You're a brown girl. I don't care if you claim Colombian, Mexican, Dominican, whatever. You're still brown.
That's what it comes down to.
And that's what it comes down to. And so because of that, your struggle is going to be different than that of a white girl with the same accolades as you.
And that's what I don't understand when I see a person from Mexican background running for Trump when they said they don't like you. Mm-hmm. He said he he didn't like you. It's kind of weird to me.
He directly said there was no question behind. I don't understand how people interpret what he says differently.
He's talking about the illegals,
right?
Because these people are slavery in mind. I was talking to Fuego yesterday, on the way from work to home. Well, from work to home, and we were talking, and I was listening to a message from TD Jakes. And it was called Change Your Mind. If anybody get the chance to, please check it out. You can check it out on Spotify. He has a podcast. It's not really a podcast. They kind of record the segments that's on Sunday, and they put it on as a podcast. Anyways, talk about Change Your Mind. They said he had a quick story. He had a situation where back in the day, he used to live in the hood with his wife early. They used to live real poor. And they had a neighbor, young lady with this older man. This dude is super big. Like, he used to be really, really big, fat and all. Like, he was just big. And this young lady was like probably $105, wet. Like, I mean wet, like 105 pounds, right? Super light, super small. She used to get her ass whooped, right? Used to get beat, bruises left and right. One time he found her in the bushes, butt naked, in the cold. It was probably, he said it was around November or December, so it was in the snow. She was butt naked. He beat her so bad she ran outside, and he locked her out. Okay, and they brought her in, clothed her, put her in, in a warm temperature house, fed her soup, everything, and then eventually had a conversation where it was like, yo, why are you taking this? Why are you accepting this? Why you just don't move on? Why you just don't leave him? And her answer was like, yeah, no, but he loves me, I promise you. He sometimes his temperature just goes up, and sometimes I think it's my fault. So she says, she says all these things, and then she goes back to him. But finally, she changes her mind. And he was like, the slavery mind, no matter how she looked, no matter how her body felt, if your mind is in slavery, is enslaved and thinks so wrong, doesn't matter what happens. Because you are so in tune thinking that this is the right way, even though what you see is not what you really see. You know what I'm saying? Because your brain is off. But as soon as she changed her mind and noticed, I don't deserve this. I need to be. I deserve better. I can leave. I can do. I will. I have faith. I have passion, and I'm out. Finally, she got herself together. She did leave. She had to sneak out. She had to leave when he was asleep, this, that, and third. But she ended up getting herself together, got her own place and everything. And from there, it was flying colors. But that's what it is today. The mind, the slavery mind of all these people, yeah, they hear it, but are they taking it in? Because their brain is not allowing them to take it in because they chose not to change their mind. They have this thing that, all right, I'm going to continue to, this is what I was raised to be. This is how I was raised to be, so I'm going to go this line and I'm going to keep going this way. Not knowing that they have a mind of their own and they just choose not to change it. So that's
the change in the Black community, and this is just what facts are, is us get back to the mindset of Black Wall Street. Because we are, and this is just the only way to win in this country, because even what we've seen with the quarantine, the dollar matters most. And we have to get back to the point that we're building up our own communities. These are communities that we were forced to be in, by the way, by color-coded mapping and redlining and all of those things. But we have a choice now where we live, right? Because in 1968, that was made illegal. Now, do white people still move out of neighborhoods when they still see too many Black people moving in? Yeah, but we can't let that affect us. Because the problem is what we do is the ones that do make it, and the percentage of that, by the way, is 1 in 5 that make it out of the ghetto. And of that 20% that, is born into poverty in the Blacks, only like 15% of them remain that way. So it's just the stats, are not in our favor, because when we get out the ghetto, we don't go back. We don't feed back into that community. We're not building grocery stores. Why does every community have a grocery store, but we don't?
Yeah.
Why don't we have grocery stores? We used to. On Black Wall Street, we had grocery stores. Why don't we have a grocery store? Why doesn't somebody with money, because we have plenty of Black people with money, it's just that they rather go out and buy Louboutins and Louis Vuitton and, Gucci and all these
white-owned labels.
White, European, and all that other stuff, labels. And I had posted the stats because I had been doing research for something else that I have going on. And so I didn't want to release that because it's for something else, but I felt like it was necessary. But the black dollar lasts for 6 minutes in the black community. Now, what that means is that we're going out here and we spend our money outside of our community. The grocery stores that we're using, our hair products, our skin products, everything that we feed into, and even the restaurants, like the Chinese restaurants and stuff, they come into our neighborhood and that goes back into their pocket. It doesn't go into our neighborhoods, which is why we have bad schools. This is why we don't own anything. So while yes, it's only been 52 years since color-coded mapping and all that stuff has been illegal, we've had 52 years to be putting money back in our pockets, and we're not. You know what I'm saying? We've had 52 years to open grocery stores. We've had 52 years. 52 years is a lot less time than whites have had, but it's enough time to where we could have started to change the narrative. Same thing with HBCUs. They're losing money every year because Black people that made it, they don't want to send their kids to HBCUs. I'm sorry. I don't want my child to go to Alabama, LSU, Clemson, or any other one of those schools because that's where she will go. And I've talked to her over and over again that we need to be, because I'm already upset about the education that my children get and receive in public schools here in South Carolina. And I feel that there's a way for me to educate my children by sending them to an HBCU where I know that they're going to be accepted socially and they're not going to really struggle with being with their identity somewhere like that because everybody there looks like them. And not every, because there are some white people that choose to go to HBCUs, which is dope. But, you know, I really believe that instead of letting all of our schools close that we work so hard to get, instead of letting these neighborhoods be gentrified and all of this stuff, why not build up our own communities? Why remain poor? We've remained poor. Like, you know, we're the ones that are going out there buying all of these name brands. Guilty. I am. But like when you think about like the reality of it, yeah, some stuff you are going to have to buy. All races buy stuff outside of their race. It's just that Blacks more than others.
Yeah.
So our hair stores, you know, I mean, everything that we've been told is to a European standard, the weaves, all of that. And all of that money is going back into the European and Asian pocket and white American pocket.
Gotcha.
White America is getting so bad that they're not even at the top in their own country in regards to getting money back in their pockets from, you know, retail. Yeah. If that says anything about the direction that this country is going into.
And that's just it. I mean, I would say that I'm gonna come out with a rant, and we could probably elaborate on that based on what you just said, in terms of the, you know, Black and in the communities and things like that. Because, you know, from what I see a lot of other Black nations do what they need to do. You know, they have markets, they have all of that, but what about the ones that are from this country and things like that? And I don't see that a lot. No. and I'm sure we did before, but we don't see that. So
and crazy. Then does anybody else see that like it's a problem that in the regular grocery store you have to request certain products? I've done it several times, especially when you live in certain areas, or you have to like anything interracial, which is why Asians, have a lot of markets in their own neighborhood, because you go into Publix or Kroger or whatever supermarket is local to you and you find international aisle. You know what I'm saying?
It's all mixed in there.
And, you know, you have this little small section of all the Spanish spices and stuff because for whatever reason, they need to be separate from regular spices and stuff like that. I don't know.
It's true. And one thing I hate about that real quick, I hate that because in this area, it's mostly geared to Central and South Americans. That's not how the rest of us eat. There's certain spices that we use. I mean, there's Goya, yes, but like there's certain things that you get, you know what I mean, and and same thing with the Black stores is geared to more of the African continent, not the Caribbean. So it's hard for me. Like I gotta search like everywhere Like
Well, and
I need
lucky
a
for
Scotch
you, you
bonnet.
live in a very diverse
Yeah,
area.
it
I
is.
don't,
It is.
you know,
Yeah.
I don't live in a diverse area. And so there,
Mhm.
it's really hard for me to find anything that's not traditional. I'm going to say traditional. I'm not going to say white. I'm going to say traditional. But
Sorry.
it's really hard for me to find anything that's not, you know,
Yeah, I know what you
normal
mean.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But all
So,
right, with that note, we're gonna go ahead and go into a commercial break, and we are going to get into our men cave.
What'd you
Well,
call it? What'd you say
men,
it was? I'm sorry.
men cave.
Oh, man. I thought you said something else.
Oh
I
no,
didn't
no, we
hear.
can't even call it. I said this last year. We can't really call it man cave, but it's like a
No.
man wool cave,
I don't
man
know.
wool cave. No, no. I'm trying to make some stuff up here. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and go into this commercial break. We'll be right back.
So bad.
She ain't gotta be so aggressive. All you had to do was tell me not to leave. Now your knee is on my back and you making it hard to breathe. I bet you loving this. I bet it's why you can't stop. I bet it's the real reason your bitch ass became a cop. They gonna probably check my background and say that I deserve this shit. But if I was a dog, they wouldn't care who I done bit. They'd just be outraged, picking signs. They would urge that I'm just another nigga, but the dog didn't deserve that. Fuck, I can't breathe. God damn it, I can't breathe. And all you had to do was tell me not to leave. My man, I can't cry. I know you see the pain in my eye because I got kids and I'm probably about to die. Just tell my daughter that I love her. Tell her that her daddy had her back and I'm a man. I just happen to be black and he happen to be white. Fuck pussy happen to be police. He be straight because he eat breakfast with the chief. I should have fought back. It'd have been a different deal. Nowadays, even doing what they say will get you killed. Kaepernick lost his job because America was racist. But this nigga get this nigga paid vacation. Be proud to be black. Protect it with your chest. And stand up for yourself, because if not, you gonna be next. I can't breathe. Damn it, I can't breathe. Mama, I can't.